go, baby. All righty. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Detroit Lions. Now, why are the Detroit Lions 0-16? Because they suck. They ain't never been to a Super Bowl, never won a Super Bowl. I'm almost 60 years old. The last time they won a championship was 1957. That's a long time ago. You know what? The Detroit Lions suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Wherever anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw it in the chat box. You try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But plus also, seriously, I mean, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So, hey, my buddy Randy's here. What's up, buddy? What's up, good buddy? So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them, so if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I would thank you in advance. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge, right? What do you have to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then finally, also a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The link underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. I hate change, right? I like things just the way they are, right? I'm one of them, get off my lawn kind of old farts, right? It's a Twitter link, right? One to the Facebook link. It's a Twitter link to me anyway. It's always been Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. As I said, if you follow me, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. And then the link on top of it, it's a Facebook link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 8,100 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but members post stuff in this group as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group. Every day, it's the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right, with all that stuff said and done and away with, well, he got I try to I guess maybe get like take down positional groups, like maybe look into as we get closer to the draft. I mean, everybody has I'm looking for like what is it? Giants news and Giant, stuff to talk about and all. And I'll tell you what, 99.9999999% of the stuff out there is like so-and-so's mock draft, so-and-so's mock draft, so-and-so's mock draft, so-and-so's mock draft, 342,968. So, I mean, it's like, so I'm trying to find stuff to talk about out of the mock drafts. I mean, the mock drafts are great and all that and everything. As I said, the people that make up the mock drafts know 3 trillion times more than I do about the guys coming out. They're fantastic, knowledgeable, and all that stuff and everything. And the stuff the information all these guys have is fantastic. They know these guys really well and all that stuff. The thing I don't like about the mock drafts, getting crazy. Oh my God! What? Oh my God! Really? We're drafting this guy? Oh my God! I mean, it's like, once again, I'm not trying to make fun of the guys who do this stuff. And as I said, once again, all these guys that make these mock drafts, they know a lot more about these draft guys than the draft prospects than I'll ever know, because I'm not going to spend the time. I don't have the time and all that. As I said, so these guys are knowledgeable and this and all that stuff. But I said, however, especially once you get later rounds and all that stuff and everything, I mean, the fourth round, we're taking a safety. Oh my God, it's, I said, you realize, I mean, like two things. Uno. A lot of these guys, they take with the guys with the Giants draft needs and all that, but there's so much other stuff that goes on beforehand, right? Like, they might have the Giants taking so-and-so in the third round. Well, no. I mean, maybe before we get to the third round, maybe the Giants trade away their third round pick. There's a trillion things that can happen. But one thing I try to, look at is that, try to keep in mind is that there's 32 teams. And a lot, as once again, I said, a lot of these guys, they draft the guys that the Giants, like that, they might draft the safety or they draft the cornerback in the second round or, this or that. This is once again, the Giants need these guys and all, but there's 32 teams. Out of every 100 players, Giants are going to draft 3 out of every 100 players, basically, because if you take 32 and you multiply it by 3, you get 96. So 96 is almost darn near close to 100. So basically 3.1% of these players that are coming out in the draft or whatever, or the 3.1% of the guys getting drafted or whatever, are getting drafted by the Giants. I mean, that's not a big, that's, if the Giants were drafting like 80% of the players coming out, okay, but I mean, we're only drafting 3% of the guys. Actually, and I guess in the first 6 rounds, because the 7th round we have a pick, right? So that's one. And two is that so and so has a mock draft today, and whatever the draft, whatever the 7 rounds or whatever they have is drafting these guys, and oh my God, really, we're taking this guy with Tomorrow they got a different mock draft when we're taking different guys. Next week they got a different mock draft when we're taking different guys. The following week it's there's mock drafts I think coming out. Actually, I think if you type in Google, let's say, let me just for let's see here. Let me test this out. I think there might be mock drafts or like just let's go 5 years in the future, 2029. Mock draft, NFL mock draft 2029. Now, let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's see here. NFL mock draft 2029. Let's see. Daniel, not 2019. Oh, wait. No, nothing. 2029. Oh, I guess not. Okay, maybe that's a little too far in the future. Let's try 2026. How's that? NFL, let's see, is there a mock draft 2020? There you go. Consensus big board 2026 mock draft NFL. I mean, what we got here? Mock draft. There you go. Do we have a rankings mock draft, NFL Combine, home mock drafts, rankings, 2026 rankings? I'm not sure what this is here. Quarterback rankings. They got quarterback rankings already for 2026. All right, so we got quarterback. Okay, let's go 2025 here. I'm sure that they got to have something for 2025. Giants are taking so-and-so. Got to be something. Round 1. There you go. Walter Camp, 2025 NFL mock draft. Let's see who the Giants are taking next year, according to Walter Camp. Like this, really, it can matters. Tennessee? Really? The Giants, we're taking the quarterback. We're taking Carson Beck. According to Walter Camp, we're taking Carson Beck, the quarterback from Georgia, in next year. Next year, Giants grab a new starting quarterback. So apparently the Giants are, I guess the Titans are drafting 1. The Giants are 2. You got the Patriots 3. The Vikings are 4. Oh, another Bulldog is going early. Wow. Williams, defensive end. So the Giants are, so according to Walter Camp, don't even worry about a bit of a slow start. Beck heated up for Georgia, showing off a powerful arm and ability to push the ball downfield in 2023. Beck completed 72% of his passes. 24 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 6'4", 220 pounds, has upside and could become a legit quarterback prospect by 2025. Could. So according to Walter Camp, the Giants don't even bother. Right? What do we got? Walter football. Walter football. Okay, my bad. Walter football. Walter football, the 2025 NFL mock draft. The Giants are picking second, so I guess we're going to win like 1 game. I guess this season we're picking second. We're taking a quarterback. So according to Walter Football, the Giants don't even worry about Nix, Penix, and the Rattle Man or McCarthy. Don't even worry about none of these guys. If Caleb Williams falls to the Giants at 6, don't even worry about it. The Giants will take a punter instead. So according to Walter Football, the Giants not taking a quarterback this year. So there you go. I mean, it's like I don't know. I mean, once again, I'm an old time fart, so you got to please forgive me. I just don't. It just doesn't. I don't know. I don't even. I can't even talk. I don't even know why. I mean, once you get old like me, time is precious. Why am I wasting my time on a mock draft in 2025 that's not going to come true? I mean, why am I wasting? I mean, it's like, as I said, it's the same thing with the mock drafts. Some of you guys are at mock drafts. There's 6th or 7th mock draft already, and we still have another 3 weeks until the draft. It's like, right. Almost, yeah. So tomorrow will be 3 weeks to the draft. And I think time's flying. But so, you just got to, keep all this stuff a little grain of salt. Yeah, that's all. But there's mock drafts 2025 already. The Giants are taking the quarterback. There you go. Well, there's your news flash, guys. All right. But so if we go to the big board here from PFF now this thing here is if Waller were to return to the Giants this season, we're still waiting. I mean, I hope the guy gives his answer by the draft. I mean, now, as I said, if Waller is coming back, I really don't see how the Giants would want to spending a draft pick. I mean, we just brought in with Stahl and Manhurts, and we Cager, right? And we got Adoree Jackson, and we got Bellinger, and we got Waller. It's like, we're going to draft a tight end too. So, I mean, it's like, plus there's really, I mean, there's a couple guys in there, right? Especially like later on, right? But if we look, I mean, there's how PFF has them like ranked and all of that. There's like one guy in the first round, Brock Bowers. There's one guy in the second round, right? And then the next guy that they have ranked in their order, that's all it is. I think it's a 4th round pick. So if you look in the top 100, there's 2 tight ends. So we're not talking, it's not like it was I think last year, where there was like probably 4 or 5 of them or 6 of them or so who were good, maybe receiving tight ends who might go in the top like 3 rounds or so, whatever it was. I have to go back and look. Oh, hey, I'm not doing nothing. Let's see what we got here. Let's see here. Let's go 2023 NFL draft. On. There we go. Now we're cooking with vinegar. All right, 2023 NFL drafts. All right, here we go. Let's take a peek. See here, how many tight ends got taken in the top 100? All right, tight ends. There goes my good boy, tight end. All right, Kincaid, the tight end. Right, I didn't miss nobody. Right? Okay, so one. All right, and we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in the first 2 rounds. Now, there might be 2 in the first 2 rounds here. So here there was 6. And we'll go up to the 3rd round. This will be up to about 100. So we got 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. 9. Was that 101? Yeah, so we had 9 taken. 9 tight ends were taken last season. Okay, in the top 100, 9 tight ends. Now, if you look at PFF, just where they have their everything ranked, there's 2. Okay, so all right, here we go. Here we got the big board here, right? All right, so you see, you got number 7, and then you got Sanders here from Texas at number 51. Then the next guy, I think, is 107 or 103. I'm sorry, all 103. So, I mean, you're talking a huge disparity from last season to this season. I mean, it's like night and day with the tight ends. I mean, Brock Bowers is obviously, he's up there. He was the second, according to PFF, ranked tight end, 84.4, right? Sanders, when you look, I mean, they got him at 51. He was the 19th ranked tight end out of 469 tight ends. That's a lot of tight ends out there, right? But nice height, 6'4", 243, especially if he adds a little bit of beef on him. He gets up around 250 or so. 6'4", 250. Not bad, not bad. He's only 21 years old. Played 14 games, 75.6. Caught 45 receptions. What I like here, no drop passes. Okay. Only had 2 touchdowns. Let's see, where are we at here? Analysis. He's a tier 1 athlete for the tight end position. He is still mastering the nuances of the tight end play. So, I mean, somebody like, I really would be rather sure. Let's read this here. And he needs more mean streak consistency as a blocker. However, even with those concerns, what he brings to the table as a vertical threat is worth a top 50 pick. So, I wish he would approach it with more violence, his blocking. So, all right. But, what he brings in the passing game, which is something the Giants really could use. However, with the other bigger concerns, because you got to put stuff in order of hierarchy or whatever you want, order of importance, I guess, the positions, right? The Giants need the wide receiver. Maybe a backup or quarterback, maybe of the future. Those guys, that's up there. A cornerback, that's up there. A tight end is kind of like on the lower tier as of right now. Maybe next season, possibly. We have so many tight ends. As I said, even if Waller wasn't to show up, if he does retire, I think the Giants, the other pressing needs the Giants have, I think, kind of trump drafting a tight end in the 2nd round. We have other pressing needs, but I mean, he may not be bad, especially if the Giants, because what the Giants have is we have, Bellinger, who's kind of like, the overall nice tight end, nice in the receiving game, a nice blocker, although he does need to do better than he did last season blocking. He's very good hands, but he's not a phenomenal blocker. He's not a phenomenal receiving threat or anything like that. But then we have a bunch of other guys who are blockers. So we need somebody more in the receiving threat, right? That's Sanders might be the guy. But I really think that, you can even add another edge rusher in there, right? A defensive lineman, a cornerback in the second round, I'm saying, for the Jones. Maybe going out and trying to grab yourself the quarterback of the future or something. So I think Giants have other pressing needs that they would need, I think, to look at in the second round than trying to grab a tight end. Then here you got he's not, 6'5", 250. This is a nice height and all that and everything, but he's not much of a receiving threat. Caught 21 passes, and this I'm not pressed about at all. 21 balls he caught. He has 4 drops. Not good at all. No, they don't have anything on him. No analysis on him. As soon as you see with PFF, now here's a guy and they have it like this, that means there's no analysis on him. Trends, they got trends on him. I don't really even care too much about that, but as far as receiving, he's not. He did catch 3 touchdown passes, but obviously also with Iowa, they're not like the greatest show on turf either, right? So, 21 pass receptions, and he only played 7 games, right? So, if he played in all their games, he would have had more catches, but still, he had 34 targets his way. He dropped 4 balls. That's not a receiving threat right there to me, right? So, if anything, I think more he would wind up being in the maybe the pass blocking kind of. Now, Stover here, okay, he'd be 24 soon, 6'4", 250. Very nice. He graded at 75.6. At 115. So you're looking at this guy's, according to them, he's 115, which would be like a 4th round grade. Okay. He caught 41 balls, no drop passes. Very, very good. 5 touchdowns on the 41 pass receptions. Graded out at 75.6 overall. Let's see if they have analysis on it. Yes, they do. Okay. He's well-rounded, well-versed football player whose natural athletic ability and fundamentally sound approach to the position should make him a high floor role player with tight end 1 potential. So, in the 4th round, hey, all right, possibly, right? His route tree is pretty diverse, but separation via lateral movements won't be one of his strengths, though. Okay. He won't win with top speed at the next level. So, first step is adequate to get upfield and create some space. You can see the defensive end background in how he fires off his front foot. Actually has some nice nuances in his routes with hand fighting, tempo, and shoulder head fakes, high blocking intelligence, right? A nice balance through contact, strong and reliable hands, 2 drops on 100+ targets. So not bad. Not bad. That we can certainly deal with. So when you get the ball to him, right, if it's going to hit his hands, he's going to bring it in. So, somebody like him, maybe in the 4th round, absolutely. Because you do know, really good chance if Waller were to come back this season and play, I'm all for it. But there's a really good chance that he won't be around in 2025. So to bring in another young stud, 6'4", 250-pound guy with another good set of hands, team him up with Bellinger. I'm not saying we got Travis Kelce out there or Kittles or nothing. I'm not saying that, but hey, he may not be somebody bad in the 4th round. May not be a bad pick at all in the 4th round. Okay. Then you got Sinat, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, from K-State. He was the 6th highest, right? Grades out an 82 overall. 6'4", 245, very nice. All right, 2 drops. We can do a little bit better than that, but his receiving grade is an 81. His run blocking grade is a 76.1, right? Not bad. Let's see. Do they have an analysis on him? Good. Sinat is a true jack of all trades tight end who can line up in the backfield, on the line of scrimmage, and as a receiver. Versatility, huge. His game lacks a true trump card, but he's the type of football player NFL team wants in their tight end room as a versatile role player. Once again, get him in the 4th round, heck, maybe the freaking 5th round. Team him up with Bellinger maybe going forward, right? He's a quick athlete, which is not common for tight ends. Versatile movement skills that allows him to be effective in the slot, in line, or out of the backfield. I mean, that's huge. Now, because a lot of times, teams want to have guys out in the backfield, but not necessarily maybe a fullback, right? But if you get somebody with his size, 6'4", 240, 250, if he can block, that's almost just as good as having a fullback. But this way, you can put him in the backfield, you put him in slide, out line, in line, out, right? Without having to put a fullback on your team, right? He's not the strongest, but he's a willing blocker, and that's all you can ask for. And we're not asking for somebody who can just drive people into the ground, but he's a willing blocker, which is huge, right? He can get overpowered by defensive ends, but once again, he can get overpowered. Well, that's something you can certainly work on. You can certainly work on your strength. Doesn't mean he's going to become a fantastic, amazing blocker or whatever like that, but can he get better? Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of blocking, not all, but a lot of blocking has to do with what's in here, right? Hands are fine, but not a major plus. Struggles to get off press coverage. Seems to have shorter arms. Well, off of press coverage. So if you got him in the backfield, right? Coming out of the backfield, right? Seems to have shorter arms, which shows up at the catch point and when blocking long pass rushers. Yeah, so he's trying to block like an edge, one of those freakish edge guys or whatever, 6'5", but their wingspan's like 13 feet and all that. They got these long arms and all that. They give everybody trouble. Surprisingly, lacks special teams experience, But, who knows? Yeah, he might be a willing participant on special teams. Who knows? But I'm saying, if you get somebody like this, maybe 6'4", and we add some muscle and size, 240, 250, 255, right? Somebody in the 5th round, right? Somebody like him to add to the tight end room might be worth a try, right? Then you got Theo Johnson. He was the 156th ranked, right? Tight end from Penn State. Holker from Colorado State. He was the 68th ranked guy. Once again, now we're getting up to the 5th round. Getting close to Bell here, getting close to like a 6th round person right here. There was another guy, the guy from Michigan here, Barner. All right, he was the 5th. He graded out 82.4, 82.2. He was the 5th highest ranked tight end, right? 6'6", 251 pounds, right? Now his receiving is, he's more of a blocker, okay? He caught 22 passes, right? And he had 2 drops. So we're not overly thrilled about that, okay? But his run block rate is outstanding, 81.4. His drop rate, 8.3, not very good. Receiving grade, 69.3. Once again, some of that stuff you can certainly work on, right? Certainly can work on that. Let's see here. They have analysis on him. Okay. Barner won't give you much in the receiving game. He is an ideal tight end 2 or 3 for a team that likes to run heavy formation. So once again, right? If you have somebody like, if you have Bellinger, I said maybe in the 6th round, you take Barner, right? So then you have Bellinger and you have Barner. Is going to be a tight end 2 or 3 going forward. Great size, right? You'll still need your receiving threat tight end, but hey, man, now you got 2 young, tight ends on your roster. As I said, maybe the 6th round. We'll see. He's a strong blocker, has the grip and core strength to maintain blocks and wall defenders off. That's fantastic. Height and strength make high point passes one of his strengths as a receiver. Impactful split zone blocker. improved release speed and versatility. He's below average athlete in all facets, very slow to change directions in his routes. So, he's not, yeah. But the one thing is with him, okay, is that if you want to look at it, like if you were to take Barner, right? Just saying, if you were, he would be like your probably your fifth option as far as trying to throw a pass, right? So they're not going to have their best guy on him, right? But I said somebody like him. If they're trying to build the team, right? We got Bellinger. Said you draft somebody like that who's a really good a young, really good blocker, right? So now you got two good tight ends going forward, and I said you still need a receiving threat tight end, but you can get that maybe next year. Who knows? So, there are guys out there, but you see from the draft last year, I think there was, I think it was 9 tight ends taken in the top 100. And a lot of them were taken in the top 100 because they were, boom, receiving threats, right? I said, you see here, according to PFF, they got 2 guys ranked in the top 100 as far as tight ends. It's like night and day from last year to this year. Night and day. I don't know what it's going to be like next year as far as tight ends. Let me see if they have that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if they have. That's the draft board. Yeah. See, I don't know if they're going to have that. Draft guide. Yeah. I don't think they have that. College tools. Magazine analysis. Analysis. Nah. Fill draft. Yeah, I don't see it. Let me see if anything over here. 2025. Let's see. Let's see if anything pops up here. Big draft board. Top 75. I don't see anything here. Oh, let's see. Nah. Sometimes they got stuff like that. Obviously, they got their projections and all that for guys for next season, all that. But it's like night and day with like the tight ends from last season and tight ends from this season. It's like night and day. But at least for the Giants, they do have other pressing needs, without question. And I'll tell you, and one of the things that would really, I would like to say, I would like, because we're going to go to the revenge game. Giants revenge game. We're going to go to that next. And what I would like to see, and it's going to go back to PFF here, would be the Giants in the second round can maybe take a defensive tackle, which will help bring me into my next story. Let's see here. We have this here. Let's do interior defensive lineman, right? So they got that interior defenders. Okay, here we go. All right. So yeah, some of these guys. Okay, so you got a couple guys right here. I'm not really sure. Wow. Okay, there you go. Chris Jenkins, he graded out overall 23rd, right? He was the 120th graded guy, 164th. Wow. Fisk, 6'5", 297. They said I would like them to if they're these guys will be long gone before the Giants wind up going the second round. But which leads me to my next point. Okay. I stopped sharing my screen. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, there's a couple guys here. Yeah, like maybe Fisk, Jenkins, or Horo. Okay. I'm not sure. Or I'll just call him Rook. How's that sound? That's why I would like to see, like maybe if there's a real good defensive tackle in there to line up next to Sexy Dexy, because of the revenge game. Giants versus Eagles named one of the NFL's best revenge games of 2024. Because what we don't want to have happen, right? We don't want to have happen is we don't want Saquon running wild. If the Eagles win, the Eagles win. You tip your cap to them. Good job, guys, and all that. What we don't want to have happen is Saquon with 167 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 7 receptions for an additional 72 yards. And, no, that we don't want. What we don't want is, the Eagles, how they did it 2 seasons ago. They were just chewing up the rushing yards against the Giants, just totally annihilating us, right? What we want to do is we want to get a nice front wall in there and let McFadden and a Carrick behind them, let them fill in, shoot the gaps or whatever, come in and make the tackles. We want to keep Saquon under control, right? If he gets 70, 80 yards, if he gets whatever, 16, 17 carries for 80-something yards, okay. Well, as I said, what we don't want, right, is, 26 carries for 167 yards, 3 touch. We don't want that. We don't want to get embarrassed by Saquon, right? We don't want to make the Eagles. The Eagles are already making us look bad, but we don't want the Eagles and Saquon making us look bad, right? So we want to try to do what we can to try to, sew up the defensive line so we're not getting gashed and all that. Okay, so we can kind of keep the running game under control a little bit, right? As I said, if Saquon gets some yards, he's going to get some yards. If he gets a couple of receptions, he gets some receptions. But I said, well, we don't want Saquon running wild on us. Don't want that at all, right? So that's why I would like to see if the Giants get themselves a defensive tackle in this draft. I'm all for it, right? We got when the Eagles swooped in and signed Saquon Barkley, it sent shockwaves across the NFL. Blood boiled in New York as the Giants star defected to the fiercest rival. Yep. Barkley, one of the Big Blue's greatest all-time players, Tiki Barber. Other former Giants also chimed in, as did fans, many burning their Barkley jerseys. Oh, yeah, I'm throwing mine. I don't have one. If I did, I'd be throwing it right in the trash. I'm not. Yeah, he does what he did what he had to do and all that stuff. But I tell you what, you go to the Eagles just to make some money. Nah. No thanks. I'd be throwing your jersey right in the trash. I wouldn't burn it, but I'd be just throwing it right in the trash. Because to me, you're totally worthless. Because of the heated nature of Barkley's move within the division, Adam Rank of the NFL Network gives the Giants-Eagles will be among the NFL's best revenge games of 2024. Let's start off with a banger, just like they do at WrestleMania, which is taking place in Philadelphia this year. Now it was former Giants running back Tiki Barber who said Saquon Barkley was dead to him after the star running back signed a big money deal with the rival Eagles. I get it. There was no love lost between the Giants and Eagles fans. It's one of the most bitter rivalries in the NFL. Yep. But I actually think this was kind of a great move, and one of the Giants fans shouldn't be too upset about. Saquon played some fine football during 6 seasons in New York, earning a healthy payday with a team that is still in its Super Bowl window. Giants are in a spot where devoting big money to a running back isn't the move. The Eagles, on the other hand, probably shouldn't let their quarterback run for 15 touchdowns. So for them, this signing made a lot of sense. I understand that it's disturbing for some to think of Saquon in an Eagles uniform, and that Giants fans will be upset when he has Christian McCaffrey-like impact within their division rival. Well, that's if he stays healthy. Yeah. And I'll be the first one to laugh. I don't want to see anybody get injured, but I'll tell you what, if he winds up getting injured and missing a bunch of time, I'll be the first one to laugh at that. But dude is from Allentown, Pennsylvania, fine Whitehall Township, and should be allowed to go home. Plus, folks should blame the team that didn't want to pay Saquon. Let's see. Giants organization from co-owner John Marrett to head coach Brian Daboll have said all the right things. They praised Barkley on his way out the door and wished him success. And for his part, Barkley has maintained decorum. Still, there's little doubt that Barkley wants to make an example out of the Giants, and playing them twice per season undoubtedly factored into his decision. He wants to feast on his former team, and they'll be desperate to stop him. It may be relatively calm leading up to those games, given Barkley's classy nature, but make no mistake about it. Rank is right. Giants versus Eagles is going to be more electrifying than ever in 2024. Absolutely. It's like, oh, yeah, I mean, for Saquon, oh, yeah, he damn right he wants to prove the Giants wrong. And oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As I said, that's why I think that, it would really be – because sometimes you want to look at it, it's not like, well, what do we need? When you get your team and you're trying to build the team, it's like, all right, who got to the Super Bowl? All right, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Well, what do we need on our team to beat the Chiefs? We need that. No. You start at the very foundation. What do we need to do to compete in our own division? Right? Because if you can't win your own division, it's obviously, we've had other, the 2007 Giants didn't win a division and they won the Super Bowl, that, but it really, helps. If you have Super Bowl aspirations, if you can't beat the teams in your own division, sometimes it's really hard to start thinking about Super Bowl, right? Happens every now and then. It also helped that we had a helmet catch. How many times have you ever seen helmet catches? Let me say, never. Right. But you want to compete in your own division, win in your own division, right? You beat your teams in your own division. So what do we need to do to compete in our own division, right? And one of the first things, especially when you're going up against the Eagles and the Cowboys the past however many years, it's all in the line of scrimmage, right? Trying to pass protect or pass block, right? When the Cowboys and Eagles are sacking us left and right, or when they're on offense and we're on defense and they just gashing us with runs, especially the Eagles, just straight up gashing us with runs, right? So, what do we need to do to compete in our own division? You don't look well. Can we beat the Lions, or what about the 49? I mean, the Seahawks are up and coming. What do we need to do to beat them? Don't even worry about them. You got three teams you got to worry about, right? The Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. Makes it nice and simple and basic, right? You got three teams you got to worry about. Get out of your own division, okay, then you can start having some other aspirations. But for the most part, let's worry about the three teams in your division. What do we need to do, right? And it all, especially when you're talking about the Cowboys and the Eagles, it starts in the trenches, right? We added a, I'm going to Dan Deerdorf, yeah. We added a plethora of offensive linemen, right, to the gumbo, right? Just threw this guard in, threw this tackle in, threw this guard and tackle, this guy in there, stirring up some more gumbo, right? Added this guy in. Let's see what this gumbo makes. Let's see what Carmen Brasilla can make with this gumbo, right? So we got a whole bunch of offensive linemen we added in. Okay, we didn't really do much at all on the defensive line. We brought in Burns. Okay, I said we got Jordan Riley, right? DJ Davidson, right? We got Sexy Dexy, we got Nacho, we got Ryder Anderson. So we got some guys. Okay, we certainly got some guys, but is there somebody there we can team up with Sexy Dexy, right? We got Burns, right? Kayvon, right? Nice, right? When one of those guys is injured, hopefully not, or needs a breather or something like that, you can bring Azeez Ojulari in there. A healthy Azeez Ojulari could be a nice third option on the edge, right? Then you got Sexy Dexy, right? The man, right? The sheriff. You got a bunch of other guys that can back him up and all, but can we team somebody up next to Dexter Lawrence, right? In the trenches there, especially maybe another immovable object, which would be huge, right? Get two guys that are movable objects in there, and then let Micah McFadden and a Karake behind them do their stuff and make the tackles, right? Because I said nothing be more embarrassing than going up against Saquon Barkley, as I said. Yeah. He's going to get 26 or 27 carries because they throw the ball a lot. They got a lot of good weapons to throw the ball to. But, I mean, say Saquon would get 20, 21, 22 carries, whatever. Yeah. I mean, nothing be more embarrassing. Saquon, 22 carries, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns, something like that. It's like, yeah. straight up embarrassing. Let's see if we can stop that. Right? If the Eagles win, they win, but you don't want to be because of Saquon. Right? He's going to get his yards. We're not going to hold him to minus yards or nothing like that, but if he gets 60, 70, 80 yards, you tip your cap to him. You just don't want Saquon running wild on it because he's going to want to do that. So, but it's going to be really, really interesting. But it doesn't certainly doesn't look like it's going to be week one or nothing like that because from my hearing, I think the Eagles, maybe the Browns might be in Brazil week one. So maybe it'll be one of those, because the past couple of seasons, right? It's been the Eagles and the Giants, right? 2 seasons ago, right? Both of the Giants seasons ended in Philly, right? The regular season ended in Philly when we lost, close one, right? But then our season period ended in Philly with the debacle in Philadelphia in the playoff game. But then last year, right? Our last game of the season was against Philly, but this time it was in Jersey, right? So maybe they're going to set up another one. Right. I just don't like, what the hell was it? 18, was it week 16 and 18? We played the Eagles last year. It's just, I'm like, come on, man. 18, cool. All right. Okay. That's cool. And they want to end the season with the division round. I'm cool with that. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. That's cool. I like that. But week 16 and then you get a game and then another one against the same opponent. Come on, man. But mark it down. It's going to be like the Philadelphia Barclays versus the New York Giants, right? This game's going to take on some meaning. Now, it won't be quite as bad as it was, because you go back maybe whatever. You can see where there'd be some blood being drawn or something like that. The NFL nowadays is a little bit different, but still, the Eagle Giant game is going to hold some big time interest. That's for darn sure. All right, let's see here. What do we got next? We got so many different things here. We got, is this it? There we go. Well, if you're going to go to the draft party, the Giants announced their 2024 draft party details. Here you go. Now, I'm going to be going live, so I won't be at the stadium here. The Giants will hold their annual draft party for the fans on Thursday, April 25th at 6 p.m. at MetLife Stadium. You got to love it. In addition to a variety of activities held throughout the stadium, the first round of the NFL draft will be broadcast live. The first 4,000 fans who enter through the MetLife gate will also receive a complimentary Giants draft party t-shirt. Current Giants players and legends will be available for meet and greet opportunities on the stadium concourse. Fans will also be able to take pictures with the Giants Super Bowl trophy and have access to select discounted concession stands and apparel items at the team store. Aha. Season ticket holders can begin claiming their free tickets right now. The general public will be able to access tickets starting on Thursday, April 4th, which at 2 o'clock. So it's 11, almost 12, so in about 14 hours from now. If you don't have season tickets, in 14 and a half hours from now, if you don't have season tickets, you can start access your season tickets on at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The free digital tickets can be obtained at giants.com/draft party. For more information and updates on the planned events, visit giants.com/draft party. So there you go. So, but I said I'll be going. I'll be going. I went live last year. Last year, I went live the first 2 days. So I'll be doing the same thing again here. The one thing, it's going to be a lot different than it was last year. Because last year with the draft, right, it was, we were picking, what was it, 25, I think it was. Actually, we were supposed to be 26, but I think the Dolphins forfeited their pick, so we wound up drafting 25. And, of course, then we traded up one or whatever it was to get Tay Banks. But last season, right, it was waiting. It was getting the guys. And, of course, you thought we were going to draft one of those wide receivers. I'll tell you what. Here we go. I mean, this was just. I thought when the Giants were picking. I'm like, man, we got a wide receiver falling in one of our laps, baby. Here we go. Look at all these wide receivers still left on the board. There's no way we can't get one of them. Yeah, we're going to get a number one wide receiver. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, sweet dear baby Jesus. As they say in the water boy, Mama was wrong again, wasn't she? So, I just want to kick myself every time I see this here. 2023 NFL draft. Bam. Here we go. I mean, so the Giants were drafting. All right, where are we at here? I hate these stupid commercials here. Giants were drafted. Okay, we were 25, but we jumped up to grab him. But right, look at this. I mean, is this unbelievable? So we got to number 19. There was still Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, Johnston, Flowers, and Addison. So we had 1, 2. We did jump up one. So I think we were at 25. Actually, we were supposed to be 26, I think, but Miami forfeited their pick. So that made us draft in 25, right? So you figure that when pick 20 rolled around, these 4 wide receivers were still all right here. And I'm like, oh, this almost, I'm like, why would, I'm like, it goes to Seattle. I'm like, there's no way. They got Lockett. They got Mac. What do they need a wide receiver for? So that's going to push them. Nope. And I'm like, there's almost no way 4 wide receivers go in a row, and the Giants are going to get one of them. I'm like, yeah, we're going to get another 1 wide receiver. Yeah. Unbelievable. Look at this. And Jigba and Johnston and Flowers and Addison. I'm like, are you kidding me? But then again, we wound up with Banks, so. But look at this. I mean, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver. It's like, come on, man. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, there we go. Live listening. I dig your style. Oh, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Right. I can use all the support I can get. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Oh, all right. What do we got next here? Oh, here we go. Joe Judge going back to school. Now, if you look here, I mean, Joe Judge has been in the pros for a while. He's he was at Alabama 2009 to 2011. So, but ever since then, he was with the Patriots from 2012 to 19. Yeah, 2012 to 19. Then he was with the Giants for 2 years. Then he went back to the Patriots 2022 and 2023. Now he's with the Ole Miss Rebels. Now he was with Mississippi State as a graduate assistant, 2005 to 2007. So now he's an assistant head coach at Ole Miss. He's back with Lane Kiffin. He went to join Lane Kiffin's Ole Miss college football staff. There he is. 2 years of our lives following him. That was some tough football to watch. Let me tell you what. Former New York Giants head coach Joe Judge is joining the Ole Miss football staff. Per ESPN's Chris Lowe, Judge is expected to serve in a senior analysis role under head coach Lane Kiffin, who is entering his 5th season in Oxford. Judge most recently served as the New England Patriots assistant head coach last season under Bill Belichick, who just parted ways with the organization after a 24-year run. That is freaking amazing. But it makes you think about like what Tomlin's doing in Pittsburgh. I mean, he's got himself a nice long run there as well, too. Judge played football at Mississippi State and remained at the school to work as a graduate assistant from 2005 to 2007. He then spent 1 year as a linebackers coach and special teams coordinator for Birmingham Southern before working under Nick Saban as a special team assistant at Alabama for 3 seasons there. He then jumped to the pros with the Patriots, working in New England for 8 seasons. He served as a special teams assistant for 3 years and a special teams coordinator for 4 seasons before adding wide receiver coach duties to his role in 2019. Judge won Super Bowls with the Pats in 2014, 16, and 18. After the 2019 season, Judge was in the mix for the head coaching gig at his alma mater, but the Giants came calling instead. Wow. First season under Judge, the one thing, I started drinking the Kool-Aid. we started 1-7. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But we finished 5-3. So we wound up 6-10. But you think it's like, oh, we were 6-10. Okay, where are you? Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. We can use all the giant love we can get. Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you. I'm live almost every night. Usually talking to myself, but I'm always here, right? But with Judge, after his first season, the 2020 season, right? We started 1-7. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. But we finished 5-3. So I'm like, okay. All right. So they started learning the system and this, that, and the other thing. And we, at the last 8 games, we were 5-3. I'm like, well, that's not too bad. If we can go 5-3 and then 5-3, I'm like, I mean, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm like 5-3 and 5-3. That's 10-6. That's playoff material. I'm like, all right. So I'm kind of thinking when 2021 rolled around, it's like, we might be onto something here. We might, no, we weren't. but yeah, I was drinking some of the Kool-Aid then. And then had a 5-3 finish in the second season. Oh, we got a fight going on here. We got the Devils and the Rangers. I like the Rangers. We got to fight. Oh, come on, Ranger guy. Get him. Punch him. Come on, get that long arm, man. That's it, baby. Pop him, baby. Pop him. Come on. Hit him. Don't let that devil get the best of you. Hit him, baby. Hit him. Come on. Get him. What are you doing, dude? Pop him. That's it, man. Come on. Looks like my Ranger guy's losing. That's not good. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's not good at all. What? Come on. Oh, man. Looks like my Ranger guy lost that bout. Not good. All right. Let's see. Miraculously, the Giants would have won the NFC East at 6-10 had not the Philadelphia Beagles had the Beagles beaten the Washington in the final game of the regular season. That was the game. Let's not forget, right? The Eagles, Peterson took out Jalen Hurts, put the 37th string quarterback in there just specifically so they could lose the game so they can get a good draft pick. Well, now Peterson, got fired after that because he's a worthless piece of scum. So, because another one of the reasons why I can't stand the Eagles. But anyway, that year brought some promise after the Giants finished with the top 10 scoring defense the year before, coupled with the return of running back Saquon Barkley over his torn ACL, among other potential positives. However, the wheels fell off in year 2, and with the team finishing second to last in scoring a second straight year en route to a 4-13 season. Judge was fired after the season and landed back with the Patriots. Now Judge returns to his former rival after an 11-year stint in the pros. The 3-time Super Bowl winner brings a wealth of experience and has served under 2 of the game's greatest coaches in Saban and Belichick. That is true. He also joins an Ole Miss team that's looking to build off an 11-win season that ended with the Peach Bowl victory and a number 9 spot in the poll. So, well, good luck. Best of luck then, man. Judge did his best here. Right? He did what he could do. Could Josh Allen come to the Giants after this? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who the Bills going to get to replace him? Absolutely not. Nah. I mean, I saw something like that. When did I see that? Was there an article I saw, or was that in Facebook about something like the Giants trading for Allen? No, I mean, because they got their quarterback. I think they'd be just stone cold crazy because not only if they traded away Allen, they'd have to try to find another quarterback, and that's the biggest piece of the puzzle. Allen can easily be another quarterback. Could be their quarterback for easily another 8 years, 9, 10 years. So they got their QB, right? Okay, East. Yeah. NFC East. Yeah, I got you. But, I mean, to give up on Allen, I mean, to trade him away would just be really, I think, really, really crazy. I mean, I tell you what, if the Giants could somehow get Allen here, sure, I'm all for that. But that's the hardest piece in all sports to get is get your starting quarterback. We've had Daniel Jones. I mean, this is going to be entering his sixth season, and we still don't even know if he's our quarterback. We don't even know if he's. It's like. But I'll tell you what, we're going to find out a lot about what Shane and Dable and all that think about him if they, where they wind up taking it, where they wind up drafting a quarterback. Because if for some reason they do draft a quarterback in the first round, then that they're not very high on Daniel Jones at all. If they want to grab him, maybe Penix or Nix or somebody like that, or in the second round, or they get Rattler maybe in the third round, or one of those other guys, they're kind of putting a little bit of the writing on the wall with Daniel Jones as well too. And and also might not be also that totally 100% that they're like, nah, Daniel Jones, he's not the guy. Might be a little bit he sucks, but a little bit they're worried about his injury history as well too. Because it's not like he broke his hand a couple times or whatever, or he I don't know, he pulled his hamstrings. We're talking you get like neck injuries, and he gets like one more of those, and he may not, he might have to retire. So they're just maybe also doing their due diligence there too. I don't think we're going to draft a QB. You don't think we're going to draft one? Well, we got other pressing needs. I would love to see a wide receiver in the first round. Definitely, without question, a wide receiver in the first round. Love to see that. Oh yeah, because we need a number one wide receiver, without question. Oh, and then somebody, it wasn't you. Was it Gabriel? Gabriel said, could Josh Allen come to the Giants after the Stefon Diggs trade? So speaking of Stefon Diggs, here we go. There we go. Why the Giants weren't involved in the Stefon Diggs trade? Any dream of the Giants acquiring receiver Stefon Diggs from Buffalo went out the window Wednesday when the Bills traded him to Houston. But in reality, Diggs was never an option for the Giants, and here's why. Also, I really don't think, he as he left, he took some parting shots, apparently at the quarterback, Allen. So I'm not exactly sure if that's somebody that, the Giants want to have in their locker room either. You know what I'm saying? Right, smart, tough, and dependable, and if he took parting shots at Josh Allen, that's not very smart. Buffalo Bills receiver Stefon Diggs, long rumored to be a potential trade candidate, has a new home, and it's not with the New York Giants. Amid some forehead slapping by Giant fans who may have wanted Diggs for his difference-making potential, the truth is the Giants were never going to be involved in any serious talks with Diggs for several reasons. Most of all, his cost factor, in which the 31-year-old Diggs has an estimated $18.5 million guaranteed salary this year, is all but would have assured the Giants, who have only about $7.5 million of total cap space left, would have had to do some cap gymnastics to fit the receiver in. And the thing is also, the one thing is that if you wind up, he's old, and to go to trade for him, a 31-year-old, but if you look at his numbers here, the last 6 seasons he's had over 1,000 yards receiving, right? If you look here, and actually here, in 2016 he missed 2 games. He had 903 receiving yards. Here he missed 3 games, right? 3, and he had 903 receiving yards. So had he played all those games, he would have had probably 1,000 yards receiving. Here he missed 2 games, and he was 151 yards short of 1,000 yards. But these last 6 seasons, over 1,000 yards. And, 127 catches, 102, 103, 108, 107. I mean, very impressive numbers. But if you look, as I said, what you were talking about, last season he was 30. This year he's going to be 31. Do you want to trade assets away and have to pay a 31-year-old wide receiver? I mean, he might only have another year or two. I mean, not that he's going to be pathetic in 3 years from now, but I mean, he might start being on a decline. He's played a lot of ball. He's going to be 31. Do you want to sign him for 3 years and he'll be a 31, 32, 33-year-old wide receiver? I don't know. Not especially when the Giants can draft somebody who's like 6, 7, 8 years younger than him and be a whole heck of a lot cheaper and have a whole lot more football in front of them. So I think that's what the Giants are going to do. I mean, it wouldn't have made any sense at all to go trading for Stefon Diggs. Same thing here. The Giants are looking at a wide receiver draft loaded with potential and Diggs like difference makers, minus the cost of him and his finicky temperament. And it's like, do you want some? It's like, do you want somebody like him in the locker room? I don't really know about that. And with the Giants sitting 6th in the draft order, if they don't invest in trading up for quarterback, they're all but certain to be in a position to have their pick of at least 2 of the top 3 wide receivers in the class. Marvin Harrison Jr., Dunzier, and Malik Neighbors. The Giants have some glaring offensive needs to fortify via this year's draft. Quarterback is one, given incumbent Daniel Jones' injury history and the concerns it brings. A legitimate X receiver is another. Adding a true X to a room with Darius Slayton, Hyatt, and Wan'Dale Robinson will elevate the position group to a whole new level. Absolutely. What we got here? Solid development offensive linemen, particularly tackles and pass-catching tight end are 2 lesser but important needs. Somewhere along the line, they really need to get a pass-catching tight end. They don't do it this season, they can do it next season, right? Case could also be made for a power running back. Yeah, you get yourself a bagger, but you can get the running back in like the 5th round, 4th round, right? So you don't need to get somebody early like that, but they certainly have some needs in the offensive side of the ball for sure. And they of course, they have offense and they have defensive needs too as well. And we haven't even touched on the defensive needs, which include cornerback and defensive line depth. The bottom line is that Diggs is more of a finishing piece for a solid roster. Yep, much like what the Texans have built. Now, as I said, the Texans did very, very well last year. The Texans got themselves the quarterback. Now they added themselves a nice, really nice receiving threat, right? So that hopefully should elevate them, and hopefully if they go back to the playoffs. The problem they had last season, right, was that what the hell was the score? Was it 10-10 or 14-14 at halftime when they played the Ravens? In the second half, I don't even think they scored. Right, the Ravens scored a couple touchdowns, whatever it was, and blew the Texans out of the war. But the halftime, it was a close game. They just couldn't score in the second half. So they need some extra juice. They need some extra offense, and they just got it with Stefon Diggs, right? But the thing is, it's kind of like I don't know why they traded for Diggs. There's really good wide receivers in this draft. You can get them in the 1st round, the 2nd round. Why would you trade away picks to get Stefon Diggs and have to pay the guy? You can get some really good wide receivers in the 2nd round when you're paying them maybe $2 million a season. You don't have to give up draft capital. You get a young stud wide receiver in the 2nd round for like $2 million a season or so, instead of paying Stefon Diggs, a 31-year-old, like $18-19 million a season. This doesn't make much sense, but it is what it is. Solid developmental offense. Oh, we got that. The bottom line is that Diggs is more of a finishing piece for a solid roster, much like what the Texans have built. The Giants have a long way to go before they get to that point in their rebuild, which is why they're better off drafting to fill some of their missing cornerstone needs than they will be if they went for the quick fix. Yeah, and that's one of the things that can get you in trouble a lot of times. Well, hey! I'll tell you what, If we took Neighbors, sign me up for that. He reminds me a lot of Odell Beckham Jr. You know what I mean? I mean, the moves he's got and all of that and everything, taking something and just and taking it to the house. Sign me up for that. Hopefully he's not as much of a head case as Odell Beckham Jr. was. But, if he falls to the Giants and they wind up taking Neighbors, sign me up. I'll be happy. But with this, as far as like, why would the Giants? I said, I don't even know why the Texans would do that. I said, there's so many wide receivers in this draft. First round, second round, you get some really good receivers you can get in the second round for like a $2 million. The guys will be 22, 23 years old instead of trading for a 31-year-old guy who might only have a few years left. It doesn't make much sense. It just doesn't make much sense. 1 year for Daniel, I don't know. Oh, but Daniel Jones, well, I'll have to wait and see. I mean, the thing is that, is he going to be, he'll be ready. Will he be ready for week 1? If he is ready, how much is that injury, because remember 2 seasons ago, he had him a lot in the running game. He did a very good job in the running game, but, with the ACL injury, sometimes it takes like 2 seasons for the guy to come back and be as good as he was before. So, I mean, he could be hampered a little bit by that injury. So we'll have to wait and see. But the one nice thing would be if he's able to play, if we can get him a wide receiver, get him a number 1 wide receiver, which he's something he's never had, that'll help him out immensely. Right. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't want to say one way or the other, because he did pretty good 2 seasons ago when he stayed healthy. Right. Last season, he was like totally opposite of the way it was. But of course, the offensive line was absolutely horrible. So we'll have to wait and see what happens this year. Can Priscilla get us to get that offensive line functioning? Can we have some get some luck as far as being able to stay healthy with the offensive line, right? Because we had revolving doors last year. I mean, we had so many guys. I had Justin Pugh coming straight off the couch, right? So there's a lot of questions, a lot of questions. As I said, but also it's going to be interesting to see is in the draft if the Giants do draft the quarterback. Right, that'll also let you kind of know what Dable and Shane kind of think as far as what they think about Daniel Jones. Yeah. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 12 minutes. Good talking to everybody. Good talking to you. Thanks. I appreciate it. It's sometimes I'm just sitting here just talking to myself. So it's nice to talk to another Giant fans. That's great, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. So, anybody spent any time listening to me live? Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.